world. But in any case, we're going to dive into the news here. I don't really have any fun anecdotes or anything to tell you. I guess one thing that I sort of debated whether or not I would talk about this on the show, because I hate when people do this. If you come up to me in a day-to-day conversation, you do this to me, I will be annoyed. I will be very impatient and uninterested. I hate when people talk about dreams that they have while they're sleeping, Not like their life goals or pipe dreams, but, when people tell me, oh, I had the craziest dream last night. It's like, unless I'm in it, I don't care. I don't care about what happens to you in your waking life, let alone in, not real world, in the dream world. But it's relevant to the show because it was so realistic to me. I said in my Telegram chat, I talked about this, that it could perhaps be a premonition because of the realism. I dreamt last night that I was at a Turning Point USA conference, and there was some kind of presentation happening, and a fellow knicker went up to ask a question, and he started to deride the panel about how they were all a bunch of boomers, and right away the Turning Point host swooped in and grabbed the mic and said, we're not going to use language like boomer because that's not inclusive. And me, from the back of the audience, I yelled out, fag, at the guy who said we're not supposed to say boomer. And right away, some security guy rushes in, grabs me. I'm like, get your hands off me, F word. And then I get up and I just start screaming. I'm like, you're all a bunch of anti-white race traitors and this organization is terrible and all this stuff. And I get escorted out. And then I woke up and I said, what a crazy dream, but it felt so real. It felt so realistic. So now, I don't have any plans to do this in real life anytime soon, at least, not until I had this dream, but I sort of woke up and I thought to myself, what did that all mean? There has to be some significance there. Is it foreshadowing? Is it a premonition? Is that a vision? Is that a That's So Raven style vision where I zoomed in and, saw my future? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But it was sort of troubling. I've been thinking about it all day, and I was able to remember it. A lot of dreams you forget right away, but some stick with you. So take that for what you will. Maybe the America First audience can analyze that and, see what could be in our future as a collective knicker consciousness. But I don't know if that interests you, if that bores you, if you find that interesting, but just something I thought to convey to you. Perhaps if something happens down the line, you can go back and say, boy, remember when Nick told us about that vision he had? It all sort of played out in the future, right? Anyway, we're going to dive into the current events. We'll dive into the news. Talk about real things, not what's happening in my crazy brain. Who knows? Maybe it's some kind of Israeli sleeping pill or something that they slipped me, causing me to slowly lose my mind. We're going to dive in. We'll talk about first